Hi, I'm Greg Palumbo. I'm the exhibits manager here at Ah-Tah-Thi-Ki Museum. And today I wanted to show you a few things that most people don't get to see, a few treasures from our vault. These are two dolls from our collection. They're made of wood. They have cloth as well as glass beads. These dolls were given to the museum by the College of Life Foundation, formerly the Korean Unity Foundation, based in Estero. The dolls were originally owned by Anne Lewis, the first postmistress of the city of Everglades. These dolls were given to her by Deaconess Harriet Bedell. The dolls are dressed in a period that would be somewhere around the late 1800s. We know that because its patchwork is really not that well developed at this point and really starting to come into its own. So we can see in the manner of dress that they're very plain dresses made with trade fabric. However, we do know that they were made after the mortarboards were added into the hairstyles. So you can see here that we have the mortarboard hairstyle on the dolls as well as this late 1800s dress. The beads were added much later. They're a little newer, a little shinier, and that's how we know that. What's interesting about these dolls is that we can tell that they sat on a shelf for a very long time, probably getting a lot of sunlight through windows, and they were just, loved artifacts that were kept on a shelf. The way that we know that is through the light damage. On these dolls, if you look underneath where light wouldn't have been able to get to, especially on this doll here, you can see the dramatic difference in the color between the sleeves and the body of the shirt. Also on this dress, you can see where the folds had been closed to about here, where the light damage would have covered here, and then underneath, inside the fold, you can see where the colors are bold and dramatic throughout the entire outfit. It's especially prevalent when you look into these sections that have very little striping left on them, but once you come in here, you see this really bright pink lines that were running down the fabric. Light damage is difficult. In the short term, UV light, the light that you can't see, is going to damage things at a much more rapid pace. The sun puts a lot of UV light out. However, if you're bouncing that light off of walls or off of a ceiling, the UV is much reduced, as well as distance. So if things are placed farther away from windows, farther away from light sources, the UV degrades over the run to the object. However, if things are left in sunlight for a long time, it really doesn't matter about the UV in the short term. The long term, light damages. Things need to be kept at a dim light, low foot candles. In the museum, we try for around 10-foot candles to 7-foot candles so that the light is very low. And that's why when you come into the museum, and pretty much any museum, you get this feeling that it's dark. Ideally, when you come in, you'll go through, at our museum, you go through our video at the beginning of the museum, which will reduce the amount of light dramatically, letting your eyes adjust to a lower light level. Then once you go into the galleries, things seem a lot brighter than they were when you came in from the sunlight. This is to protect our artifacts that are on display for a long period of time. This is also one of the reasons that flashes are usually not allowed in museums. While they have a very short burst of light, and it's shown that it doesn't damage artifacts very quickly or at all, many flashes on very popular items will degrade slightly over time. Also, it's distracting to other people, and it will actually force their eyes to dilate very quickly, and then everything seems dark again because you have that big flash of light. So that's really the reason that you don't have flashes in museums. So I hope you enjoyed these treasures from our vault. These early doll examples are very important to the museum and important to our collection. And we appreciate the Foundation of Life incorporated donating these items to us. I hope you've enjoyed this segment. Please remember to check out our website at Ah-Tah-Thi-Ki.com, where you can find our blog and much more information on things out of our collection, as well as our Facebook page. You can friend us and get up-to-date information about what's happening at the museum. Currently, we have an exhibit going on called Striving to Thriving, which you can see photographs on our Facebook page, as well as find out when upcoming events related to that exhibit are. That exhibit will show you the trade routes and trade implements of the tribe, how the tribe used the Everglades for sustainability. In that, you'll see dolls not quite like these, but what would become the trade dolls of the tribe, as well as early fabrics and trade goods that would have been used to build these types of dolls. Thank you very much, and hope to see you next time.